Decades back, GUI was a distant dream for almost every computing device out there. Users had to by heart some commands when it came to using a computer via a terminal. Then came Apple Lisa that brought intuitive windows and cursor systems into computers. But the console never died. Every operating system has a version of the terminal as an application which power users can use for fine-grained controls or for performing troubleshooting tasks. While in this video that's not what we are going to talk about, I'm definitely going to make you befriend the terminal as it's a really helpful skill to have should the need arise. This is Prateek, what is going on everybody, and in this video we'll cover some really cool macOS terminal tricks that you don't want to miss out. Make sure you watch till the end to be surprised as the best ones at the very end. Alright, so without further ado, let's get started. First up, we have a command that will prevent your Mac from sleeping. This is especially helpful if you are, let's say, giving a presentation or downloading a large file on a flaky connection. While you can definitely go ahead and set a similar option via the energy setting, it's a hassle to do that every time. Instead, you could use caffeinate. As soon as you type caffeinate and hit enter, your Mac will stop going to sleep. You can also caffeinate for a specific duration using caffeinate along with the -T option and specifying the duration in seconds. So let's say I want my Mac display to remain on for an hour, I'll supply 3600 after the -T option. It's a really neat trick to quickly set up your Mac while going in for a presentation and having not to worry about fiddling with the preferences. Moving along. Next up, we have a command which will help you find out how long your Mac has been running. Macs are one of the most stable and reliable pieces of hardware out there, and I'm pretty sure most users just turn their lids down instead of performing a full shutdown like on Windows once they are done working. However, to maintain that stability, it's often advised to perform a restart every couple of days at least. Using the uptime command, you can find out how long your Mac has been running since the last boot. Based on that number, you can make a call on whether to give your Mac a complete restart or just keep going. This is a really helpful diagnostic statistic, and I would recommend you guys to use it every now and then to narrow down the reason of the slowdown of your Mac. Next, let's talk about managing screenshots. Whatever your day job might be, I bet you will run into situations where you would need to take a screenshot of your computer. Be it explaining tech to your grandma or showing off things on a presentation or a document. Screenshots are really a quick way to explain things. There are a couple of ways of taking screenshots on a Mac. You can take a screenshot of a custom area by pressing Command-Shift-4 and then dragging along the screen, or you can take the screenshot of a window by pressing Command-Shift-4 and then pressing the spacebar key till this camera icon pops up. After that, you just have to take it on top of the screen that you want to take a screenshot of and press 1. Once that is done, your screenshot will basically be saved onto your desktop. But as you can see, the screenshot is in a PNG format, and PNGs don't have the reputation of being more storage friendly. This is due to the default settings on macOS. Lucky for you though, there's a command which will help you to change the file format of the screenshot that you take. You'll find this command in the description below and also in the companion blog post that's linked along with it. Alright, so just copy the command and paste it over. And just change the type from PNG to JPG. After this, you need to kill the system UI server, and that's about it. Now if you take a screenshot, you will see that it's now saved in the JPEG format. Another thing about screenshots in the PNG format on Mac is that they come with a drop shadow, as you can see in this screenshot. While it does look cool, but it does not fit all the use cases. Using this next command, you can basically disable the drop shadow on the screenshot. Just copy the command from the description and paste it into your terminal. Then kill the system UI server again And now let's try taking a screenshot of this terminal window. And now if I open the desktop, you'll see that there is no more of the drop shadow that was there previously. Lastly, let's see how you can change the default location of the screenshots. I'm gonna go ahead and delete all of them from here, and let's start fresh. You will see that if you take a screenshot, by default it gets saved directly onto your desktop. And while this is really quick to access, it's not really the best way of organizing things. So I'm gonna go ahead into my root folder and let's create a new folder here and let's call it screenshots. And using this next command, I'm gonna change the default location of my screenshots. So just copy the command from the description and paste it into your terminal. And now I need to pass in the location of the folder where I want to save my screenshots. And a really quick way of doing that would be dragging the folder directly into the terminal window. Let's go ahead and hit enter now. And as always, let's kill the system UI server. Now if I take a screenshot of this terminal window, it'll get saved into the screenshots folder. I can then drag it and place it into my favorites. And there you go. All the screenshots are now just one click away. Let's move along. Alright, so this next one doesn't really have a reason for making it into the list, except for the simple fact that it is just pretty cool. If you are an 80s or a 90s kid, this is going to be quite nostalgic for you. In those days, ASCII art were a thing, and while skeuomorphism and flat design have replaced the retro look, we still have a way of getting back the retro effect. Let's see how. You can do this by using a command called banner. The banner command will basically allow you to generate ASCII art based on the text and options you supply. All you need to type is banner followed by the message that you want to display. So I'm gonna go ahead and say aloha. And as you can see, the banner that it generated isn't really that readable. So let's go ahead and use one of the options that comes with banner. We're going to shrink the width, and to do that I'm going to type banner -w, and let's specify the width as 20 and the message, which is aloha. Let's hit enter, and as you can see, it is far more readable now. Not sure where this is going to come helpful, but it's still a neat little Easter egg that will help you pull off a brag or two. Next up, we'll see how you can show and hide your desktop icons. On Windows, this is pretty easy. It's available in the right-click menu, but Mac doesn't really have this option. There's nothing to worry though, you can basically get this done using a terminal command. This command comes in handy when doing a screencast like I'm doing right now. And in this case, you can see that my desktop is pretty clean. But is it though? Actually, that's not the case, because I've already used this command to hide all my folders. Here's how you do that. In order to show my folders again, I'll type the following command into my terminal. You can find the same in the description below. And as a flag, since my desktop is already hidden, I'm going to supply true. Now, I'm going to go ahead and kill all finder. And there you go. My desktop and the clutter is back again. To hide the contents again, I just have to issue the same command with a false as the flag. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's type false and let's kill the finder again. And as you can see, my desktop is clean again. This is probably going to be one of those commands that you're going to use the most. So better make sure that you keep it written down somewhere. Alright, moving along. Next up, let's make your computer speak. No, I'm not talking about CD. I'm talking about a terminal command that will actually make your computer speak. Let's see how. In order to make my Mac talk, I'll use the say command followed by the message and watch it go. So let's go ahead and type say, and the message would be live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper.
There's nothing much apart from this that you can do. So Probably add it to your another Easter egg list. Let's keep going. When it comes to downloading files off of the internet, most of us rely on browsers or third-party download clients like Folks. Well, did you know that you could do the same with a simple terminal command? Well, unless you are a web developer or a pro software engineer, you might not be aware about this next one. It's called curl. Curl is a free and open source software which is used in command lines or scripts to transfer data. Surprisingly enough, it is also used in cars, television sets, routers, printers, and whatnot. But that's not the scope of our coverage right now, so we'll limit it off to just the bare minimum of downloading a file. All you have to do is type in curl along with the -o option and the link to the file to be downloaded. And then just hit enter. Oh, by the way, that -o is in uppercase and it tells curl not to dump the file into your standard output. What's really neat about curl is that it will resume the downloads in case of a network failure. So to demonstrate that, I'm just gonna go ahead and interrupt this download by pressing Ctrl+C, and let's go ahead and re-download the same file. And as you can see, it started downloading the file from the last progress. It's lightweight and it works almost all of the times that you can imagine. Again, write this one down because you're gonna need it a lot more than you think. For almost all of us, there are certain aspects of our lives stored on our PCs that we do not want everyone to access. If you fall into that camp, this one is just for you. On a Mac, you don't really need a third-party software to hide or lock folders. All you need is this next terminal command. So what we're going to do here right now is hide this screenshots folder that we earlier created in the same video. Cool. So to do that, we are going to use the command called chflags, and it uses a boolean flag called hidden or no hidden. Since we are going to hide the screenshots folder, let's type hidden and then supply the path name to the folder. So I'm just going to go ahead and drag this folder onto the terminal and hit enter. And once that's done, you'll see that folder is now gone. And the one little caveat to this command is that you need to remember the path and the folder name of the folder that you just hid, for obvious reasons to recover it. So let's go ahead and unhide the folder. To do that, we're just gonna go ahead and use the same command, but this time we're gonna use the no hidden flag. And let's pass in the file path and hit enter. And if I go back to my Finder, the screenshots folder is back. I'm pretty sure that this is going to come in really handy for a lot of you. Alright, moving along. Alright, so up next I'm going to show you how you can have a custom login message show up on the lock screen of your Mac. If you see a screenshot of my lock screen, as I'm showing you right now, you can say it's pretty bland. And there's not much it actually tells about me. So let's spice things up a little bit. Next up, I'm going to show you how you can add a custom login message to your Mac's lock screen. If I head over to my lock screen right now, you can see it's pretty bland and doesn't really say much about me. So let's spice things up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and log in first, and you can head over to the video description to copy this command. Just paste the command and enter your message in the quotes. So I'm going to put in a Star Wars quote and let's hit enter. And that's about it. Your lock screen would now be updated. Let's go ahead and check it out live. So I'm going to go and lock my Mac. And as you can see, it now has the message right here on the bottom. This definitely does add a personal touch to your machine. Alright, let's keep rolling. Alright folks, we have finally reached the end of this video. And as promised, we're going to close this one off with probably the coolest trick on this list. What if I told you you could watch the Star Wars screening right here in your terminal? You may think I'm crazy, right? But it's actually true. Not the part about me being crazy. I'm talking about screening Star Wars into your terminal. Just head over to the video description and paste in the command into your terminal. Once that's done, just hit enter and grab a bucket of popcorn. This is a full-fledged version of the Episode 4 Star Wars screening built in ASCII art. I'm gonna go ahead and wait here so that you can enjoy the screening a little bit. Alright, as tempting as this screening looks, I'm gonna have to stop this now. Cool. Well, that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you really like the content because we put in a lot of effort into aggregating this. Make sure you subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so that you're notified whenever we upload a new video. Until next time, this is me Prateek, signing off.